Justice. If you read someone else's diary, you get what you deserve. David Sedaris. Justice is a complex concept based on fairness and cooperation among people. In his book, Justice, What's the Right Thing to Do?, Professor Michael Sandel examines various aspects of political justice as it relates to the ideals of personal character, including such ethical issues as bank bailouts, affirmative action, same-sex marriage, welfare, euthanasia, and other vexing issues. Justice is not a static concept, but one that must be agreed upon and accepted by the populace. There are several levels of justice, some political, others familial, and others social, but what makes justice so difficult to grapple with is that the very underpinning concept of fairness cannot easily be established. For example, Professor Sandel asks the question, would a person with a bad parent owe him less? And should you use torture to obtain information of a terrorist? Or is it all right to steal a drug for your child in order for him to survive? If you didn't think you'd get caught, would you pay your taxes? And should the government impose rules to mandate income equality? The moral choices we make every day are based on our understanding of our environment, our politics, and our institutions, but they are intimately attached to our own selves, our thoughts and feelings about what is right and wrong. Kindness. Be kind, for everyone you meet is fighting a harder battle. Plato. No one is immune from the hardships of life, whether from disease, hunger, or old age, the loss of friends, or financial means. Everyone carries his own burdens. Be kind to all, even when kindness does not seem to be an appropriate response, even if you believe it will be lost on the receiver. Indeed, even if the intended receiver is unkind toward you. It is that kindness which is most cherished when kindness is most valuable. Kindness, like forgiveness, benefits the giver more so than the receiver. Knowledge. Study. No matter how busy you may think you are, you must find time for reading, or surrender yourself to self-chosen ignorance. Atwood H. Townsend. Knowledge is an asset that can never be taken away. One can lose money, personal security, friends, family, but knowledge can never be lost. It is one of those internal gifts that one gives oneself, like faith and hope. Those who value knowledge revel in the sheer pleasure of study, the acquiring of knowledge. To them belongs a world replete with ideas and debates, philosophers and thinkers, music, creativity, and the ingenuity of the ages. The wise ones realize, as Socrates said, that the more they know, the more they realize how little they know. Love. And now these three remain, faith, hope, and love, but the greatest of these is love. The Holy Bible. What is love? Of all the emotions, love is perhaps the one most talked about, most examined, most written, and debated about. Holidays have grown to celebrate love. Wedding vows are spoken in love. Songs are written describing love in all its ramifications. Yet love remains elusive. It ebbs and flows like the tide. One can love one moment, yet not the next. Parents cannot sustain the same level of love for their offspring. Lovers sometimes experience ambivalence toward their partners, and love of country oftentimes is challenged. The Bible speaks of love as patient, kind, and long-suffering. Though several interpretations have been advanced over the millennia, the Corinthians verses about love seem to encompass many of our ideals. Be patient and kind even toward someone who has not been so to you. The long-suffering love knows how to wait for better times, not by asserting and insisting on one's rights and feelings, but by giving of oneself, giving time, waiting out the storm calmly. Love does not boast, but allows the lesser among us to shine. Love endures all things. Love is faith and hope. Love is not arrogant, but rejoices in truth. Love is not easily provoked, and does not seek recognition and awards. Love is calm and serene acceptance, a yielding to what is, and is so much more. Loyalty. Where the battle rages, there the loyalty of the soldier is proved. Martin Luther. Loyalty, like faithfulness to a person or a cause, is admirable because it is sometimes difficult, because it sometimes challenges our beliefs and our preferences, because some requirements for acceptance to membership are contrary to what we were led to expect. In battle, as in a committed relationship, loyalty is the steadfastness of devotion, the zeal and perseverance that rise above personal ambitions or partiality. Loyalty is a promise, an oath that guarantees trustfulness and undying allegiance. Meekness. The greatness of a man's power is the measure of his surrender. William Booth. Meekness has been ascribed to Jesus as the gentle soul who covets not earthly riches, but favors the humble. Yet meekness is not timidity and submissiveness. Rather, it is the lack of bluster or threat of any kind. The meek shall inherit the earth, said Jesus, not by their defiance, but by their love of kindly deeds, by their devotion to their faith, by their unabashed belief that theirs is the path to salvation and the release of their sins. Mercy. It is better to risk saving a guilty person than to condemn an innocent one. Voltaire. Our system of justice was built on the ideals of great European thinkers. Mercy is not a term often heard in courtrooms, yet the very foundation of our legal system is grounded on the notion of mercy. When an attorney is enjoined by his oath to defend his client with zeal, he is not concerned with the guilt or innocence of his client, but is duty-bound to find whatever legal means are at his disposal to clear his client. When we, the public, recoil at what seem like injustices in seeing the guilty go free, we must remind ourselves that at the root of what may seem unfair advantage lies the concept of mercy, and it is mercy that extends to all people, the guilty as well as the innocent. Indeed, mercy would not exist at all if clemency were not called for, and clemency, compassion, and forgiveness are bestowed only upon those whose culpability may be in question. Modesty. There is no limit to the amount of good you can do if you don't care who gets the credit. Ronald Reagan. How often have we retreated from performing an act because we felt invisible and unappreciated? Imagine if accolades were not needed, and that we acted simply for the sake of acting. Imagine setting up the party room, tables, chairs, and party favors when no one asked. Imagine carrying out your duties perfectly without seeking recognition. Imagine any criticism of your performance passing without annoyance or displeasure. Imagine reaching the highest rank without acknowledgement and seeking the higher ground anyway. Moderation. Excessive sorrow laughs, excessive joy weeps. William Blake. Everything in moderation, so prescribed the Buddha. The human soul cannot grapple with an excess of passion. It becomes burdened. It becomes disoriented. It becomes unbalanced. When we fall in love, intense excitement courses through our veins, but such intensity cannot be sustained. Soon we must rediscover our balance, a more serene state of mind, a calmer disposition, and a more restful sleep. The chaos that occurs when exhilaration overflows is disturbing and looks for quiet. Overindulgence in food and drink soon leads to stupor and disease. Hedonism begets bitterness, and the deepest grief somehow finds solace in forgetfulness. Such is the nature of man, the ebb and flow of desire and repugnance, of quiet and madness, of acrimony and love. Morality. In a word, I was too cowardly to do what I knew to be right, as I had been too cowardly to avoid doing what I knew to be wrong. Charles Dickens. Morality can be loosely defined as refraining from immoral acts or thoughts. I say loosely because morality is an almost indefinable sense of decency. The opposite might be said of the popular TV show Revenge, in which weekly dramas are centered around various people seeking retribution for their grievances, imagined or real. Revenge is immoral because it seeks to harm another person as a form of payback. In fact, the desire for reprisal in any manner is immoral. It is axiomatic that no one is perfect. We all err. We all behave badly at times because of cowardice, at other times inadvertently. To consciously seek to injure another seems the epitome of immorality.